Joining me here at Radio Row from over at St. Mary's University, the professor of law, the director of the Warrior Defense Project. It's Jeffrey Addicott joining us here on the show, and welcome to the program. Thanks for stopping by.
Pleasure to be here.
Well, tell us a little bit because you've also done a lot when it comes to terrorism and just studying our national defense. Tell us about what you've been looking at, what you've been specializing in, and then also this Warrior Defense Project, which it's probably something that not many people think about when they think of legal defense.
Sure, yeah. I did 20 years in the military. I was a senior legal advisor to all the Green Berets. When I retired, I became a law professor. Now I'm in San Antonio, Texas, and I founded a Center for Terrorism Law. And this year, the law school stood up a Warrior Defense Project, which I'm the director. We provide free legal services to soldiers. Not just soldiers, but all service members of all branches that have been wrongfully accused of misconduct in the performance of their duties. I've defended individuals charged with murder for killing the enemy in combat in Afghanistan, rules of engagement violations, all sorts of stuff. And we've been doing that for a number of years, but we've stood it up this year. In terms of national security, we've got a great administration right now, in my opinion, that doesn't really get much play in the main media about what he's been doing to really increase America's standing in the world, not just building up our military, but under his leadership, we have actually destroyed ISIS. And if you think about that, that's a significant move. He did that in 2017, geographically wiped them off the face of the map, which nobody had done. And as a byproduct of that, we've actually seen a 50% reduction in this country of domestic jihadists in terms of arrests and prosecutions. If you look at the stats from 2015 under the Obama administration to 2017 under the Trump administration, half have been cut in half. We know that the FBI tells us that we still have open investigations of jihadists in all 50 states, but that's a significant drop. And why? Well, because with the destruction of ISIS, they're not inspired anymore, because you can't really say God's on your side if you've been utterly obliterated, a big pile of dust.
Yeah, and we're still dealing with a mindset, a very warped mindset. And, it could come back at any time, right? Whether it comes back under the name of ISIS or another name, that warped mindset can still come back, and it's still a threat to the United States. So how do we continue to fight that mindset?
It's just like crime. You don't say, well, we got this criminal, that's it. We go home now and drink a six-pack. It never ends. So when people say, when will war stop? Never. There'll always be another war. There'll always be another act of terrorism. There'll always be another criminal. You can't stop reality. And that's part of the issues that many people don't really seem to understand, is that you have reality on one hand, you have wishes and dreams on the other hand. You can spit in one, wish in the other, and see which one fills up first. So yes, each generation has to face the evil of its time, but we've made significant inroads to crushing them. We've got the Iranians now that the president is dealing with, but yeah, as Harry Truman once said, he asked them, what's your opinion in history? He says, just one damn thing after the other.
When you look at the border, and obviously, at this event, we're talking illegal immigration. How big of a national security issue is not just the southern border, but the northern border as well?
Yeah, if you really look at the stats, most of the terror from jihad, that's a term that Obama used, domestic jihadists, a lot of stuff's emanated from the Canadian side. A nation has, you've got to go back to the premise. Do we have the right to have borders is the first question you got to ask people. And many people say, no, we're people of the world, and you really can't talk to them anymore. But yes, we have the right to have a secure border, because a country without borders is not a country. So lawful immigration is great. Illegal immigration, well, I don't even use the word immigration, illegal aliens that steal into this country is not great. And this president is the only one, Republicans, Democrats, all of them, that's actually doing something to secure the border. I think that resonates with the American people, despite all the propaganda we're subjected to all the time. As for myself, I understand the concept of legal immigration. I'm all for it. But we have a rule of law. As a law professor, the rule of law has to be enforced, or you have the law of the jungle.
Yeah. Back to the Warrior Defense Project, and I know this is something close to your heart, obviously, because you've been doing this for a while, and now that they've put this up and made you director of the Warrior Defense Project, would people be surprised, the average person, the average civilian walking around, and just how many, I guess, those in uniform are charged with crimes?
Well, the system, no system is perfect. The military justice system is no exception. But having been in that system as an active duty officer for 20 years, it works about, 94, 93% of the time. It works very well. But there's the perfect storm that arises. And for whatever reasons, you have humans involved in things. They make bad decisions. They get influenced by political correctness, which is a virus that's infecting everything in this country. And therefore, they charge people that shouldn't be charged. And so that's where I come in. That's where our school comes in. We're the only law school that has anything like this, where we actually do something. Many law schools, they'll have conferences and seminars, but, what are you actually doing to help soldiers?
Right.
And it's like a deer in the headlights. Well, it's too much work. Well, yeah, it's a lot of work. But we have a very successful program. We have a 99% success record with cases that we take. And so it's something that needs to be done. Many people are familiar with the Gallagher case that just concluded. I represented another Navy SEAL that received a target letter in that case and successfully represented him. So, yeah, it's like changing the oil in your car. The system works good, but, there's always needs for to pick up the gaps.
Visiting with Jeffrey Addicott here on the Chad Hasty Show at Washington, D.C. at the Hold Their Feet to the Fire Radio Row event. How can people find out more about the Warrior Defense Project and what you're doing?
Well, our wonderful internet here. Just Google Warrior Defense Project, Google St. Mary's University School of Law, Warrior Defense Project, and you'll be referred to a website there, and you can read about us on Facebook, also the Warrior Defense Project.
That's great. Thanks for stopping by today. Appreciate your time.
Great country. Thank you.